Of course. Right when I turn on the camera, my heater goes on and I'm reminded, oh, I forgot to turn my heater off. So you're going to hear the heater go on and off during this video. I'm apologizing for that. Normally I turn it off so there's no background noise. Hello everyone, I'm Rachel Tessman from StampYourArtOut.com, and I am excited once again to be here because I have tons of ideas in my head, and I'm so excited to share them with you. Hi Deborah. So if you're joining me live right now, it is Wednesday, February 26th at 11 a.m. and you are at my Stamp Your Art Out with Rachel Facebook page. If you are watching this afterwards, it might be on Facebook as a recording, it might be on YouTube as a recording. I will be posting this on Saturday. What date is it? Saturday, whatever the Saturday is after the 26th. Oh, there it is, February 29th. So yes, so you could be watching it there as well. But thank you for joining me if you are watching, and I'm always excited. This card that I'm going to share today is a slide out pocket fun fold card. I've done these in the past. In fact, I did one with the Past Paper Pumpkin kit in February. I've done a couple of them with that kit, and then I did a few, oh gosh, I want to say a year and a half ago with this really cute snowman set. But this version has different measurements because it's involving vellum as the base part of the card. And when you use vellum, the one thing that you always need to be careful of, well, there's a few, but the one thing is adhesive. Adhesive can show. So I had to rearrange the measurements and rework everything so that it would work with the vellum and adhesive not showing and that sort of thing. I'm so excited. Okay, what else do I want to tell you before we get started? Prizes. I draw for prizes at the end of this video. If you're watching this after the live, you can still qualify for the prize pick if you're watching this within a week's time before I do the next broadcast live. And prizes are drawn, one on the live and then two on the next live. So next week I'll be drawing for 2 more prizes from this recording, and one will be a YouTube winner and one will be another Facebook winner. So how do you get in on the prizes? You comment, you say something to me, you can say hello, you can say, you know, give me some tips. I learn ideas from you just as you learn ideas from me, and so it's kind of fun, that interchanging conversation that we have. But here's the thing I have to tell you about comments. I am not responding to them as much as normal because I have I'm wearing this wrist brace lately. I have been really trying. I love responding to comments, but because I feel like you're my people, you're my class participants, and I love you and I adore you, and I'm so grateful for you, and so I want to respond to you. But it is wearing out on my wrist and arm and all that. I'm having carpal tunnel syndrome symptoms. So you have to forgive me if there's comments that you're not seeing me even click like on. I am reading them now. I mean, I always have been, but I'm reading them even though I'm not responding, and I just hope that you will all forgive me. So you comment, I get to read them. I will answer questions. I will respond to people who have, you know, things that they need to tell me that need a response, that sort of thing. But I'm really going to try hard not to respond to everybody, but I am reading them, and I thank you so much for your comments. You get entered for the prize drawing that way. And if you share the video and you comment that you shared, you get entered that way. Some people even save the video and they comment that they saved it, which is really super cool too. So tell me what's going on with you. Tell me where you're from. I love it when I hear from people across the world. Just a fun, it's great. Okay, we're gonna move on. So the prizes are drawn at the end. Today I'm gonna demonstrate a vellum-based slide out pocket fun fold. And I think I'm gonna show the actual finished card at the end. So let's move to the supply list. What will you need for your supplies? All right, this is what I'm going to be using for my set of supplies today. I'm doing a slightly different version, just using a different paper in the designer pack than I did with my original. So Cheryl Lee, if you're watching, this is the card we made at the Silver Elite Retreat, and I am now going to demonstrate it with just a different paper from that pack and a different color cardstock to go with it, but pretty much the same card. And so you'll need the Lily Impressions designer paper or something similar. This Lily Impressions though is free. It's free right now through the end of March or whenever supplies last or whatever. But it's a celebration pick. With every $50 that you order in Stampin' Up! Supplies, you get a pick from the celebration picks. This is one of them, the Lily Impressions paper. I'll show it to you soon. We're going to use vellum cardstock for the base, and obviously we're going to need a scrap for that as well. Highland Heather is the color that I'm going to use for the accent color, Whisper White, Basic Black, and the Silver Metallic Edge ribbon. If we go over here, you can see all these other supplies. These are like the tools, the adhesives, any embellishments besides the ribbon. Now, I wrote red next to a couple items because if you are looking to purchase some of these things, you'll want to make sure, oops, wrong one, let's try that. You'll want to make sure that if you are purchasing the umbrella stamp set and the punch, that you bundle them together, which means just choose the bundle, because you save 10% if you buy them together at the same time. The other thing that I pointed out here is that this is a celebration choice. Okay, so I hope that helped all of you. Let's move to our desktop next. Let me set that up. And we're gonna bring in the designer paper, okay? Fun stuff, fun stuff. This is one of my favorite papers ever. You're not seeing me spread it out, are you? Hang on just a minute. There, all right. So this is the designer paper, and sorry, that's just a little supporting cardstock that comes with it that also talks about the colors. This paper, as you can see, is very similar on almost every sheet. Some of the lilies, because it's called Lily Impression, some of the lilies are bigger print, some of them go down to super small. This is the one that I used on Cheryl's card. And, you know, just different colors. So like this is a light blue, this one's purple, this one's more green. And then on the back sides of those papers, and they're all 12 by 12 except for the two sheets that I don't have in 12 by 12 anymore. No, they're all 12 by 12, but I'm using it up. I'm loving this paper. So these are the back sides, and you can see they look like finger painting almost. It looks like this one here reminds me of getting that finger painting paper out and having your kids go at it and just put their fingers everywhere. It's very pretty, very fun, you know, kind of solid color, but yet with a little pattern. Now this one's a little bit more pizzazzy. That is for your Picasso, little artist in your family. No, I love it. It's fun stuff. Okay, so what stamp set are we using? We're using this one here, Under My Umbrella. We need to zoom in a bit, don't we? Hang on. This is called the Under My Umbrella stamp set with the coordinating punch, and the punch is called Umbrella Builder. It has lots of different sentiments in it. I love the one that says It's Your Day, because you could use that for birthdays, you could use it for a wedding shower, you could use it for a baby shower, you could use it for you know, someone graduating even. You know, it's your day is just, it's kind of like that thinking of you statement. It's one of those sentiments that you just have to have in your stamps if you're going to be a stamper. And you can see that there are three images, this, and this, that coordinate with the stamped images. The images coordinate with the punch. So let's grab our trimmer. So on that note, I hope that's okay, you guys, that I'm not, you know, physically tapping like on all of your comments when you share, because I do go and I read these afterwards, and I'm just having a heck of a time with that carpal tunnel syndrome stuff. My boys said, Mom, that's why famous YouTubers don't comment. And I said, well, they may or may not have carpal tunnel syndrome, but yeah, you know, those famous YouTubers like gamers and stuff like that that they watch, there's thousands of comments on each of those videos, and now I get it even more. I mean, it's a time-consuming thing to respond to everyone's comments, but you can get repetitive, you know, yeah, okay, we're gonna move on. So I have a piece of 11 by 4 1/4 inch vellum. This is vellum. It's kind of like it's transparent, but with kind of a cloudy look to it. So it's not totally see-through. It's a beautiful type of cardstock to use in paper crafting. So if you don't have any of this, this is a must-have. It's going to be scored in a couple areas. We're going to score, and I'm just going to make sure I'm following my patterns here. We're going to score at one end at 2 1/4 inches. So as I'm placing this in my trimmer, it's going to be hard to see, isn't it? Let's go like this. So I've got the end of it right here, and that is at the 2¼ inch mark. Wow, it's so transparent that you can't even see where it is on my trimmer. So I'm gonna go ahead and score there, but when I'm scoring slowly and with even pressure, and I'm gonna go back and forth so I can feel that that scoring blade press down into it, okay? Thank you for your well wishes, you guys. I love you. I love you so much. Now, another thing that I've told you too is when you score on regular cardstock, this is the side that's gonna be bent outward, but with vellum, it presses inward, and it's best to just go with it. So we're gonna go this direction when we actually do our fold. Now, I'm finding that this isn't real deep, but I don't want it too deep either because you can actually cut your vellum. So we're gonna grab the help of our bone folder, and we're gonna hold it very carefully, and we're just gonna kind of press along that fold. And you can see it's starting to crease, but we don't want it to tear. So now that we've got it there, we can slowly, carefully bend it, okay? It's there. I mean, look at that. That stays flat on there. This stuff is really, it's a different kind of paper. We're gonna score the other direction now. So keeping that same side upward, because again, we scored on this side and then we fold it upward like that. We're gonna put another score line in there, and that's gonna be at the, and I wanna make sure I'm telling you the right measurements, 3¼ inch mark. So we're moving it to this mark here, 3¼ inch, because 3¼ and 2¼ is 5½, and that's half of 11 inches. Math. I love math. Thank you, Vicki. She's telling me that comments aren't necessary. So I've gone back and forth. You know what? I'm going to do it again. So if you have to, you can place your paper in there again and just give it a little bit more pressure. Vellum, I don't want you to cut it. It can easily get cut, and it's more expensive than regular paper, so you really have to be careful with it. Okay, I think we got it good. And you can see I'm lining up the edges here too as I'm pressing down. And now we can come in with the bone folder. So this is the base of our card, okay? On a regular, here, now I'm gonna show you the patterns. So on a regular card like this with regular cardstock, you can change the measurements up. This is the measurements for the card that I just did, 11 by 4¼ scored 2¼ and 3¼ And as I fold in these pieces, you can see that they look like this, and this is going to be the insert piece with designer paper. So again, we're going to have some scoring carefulness that we need to follow, but this is going to be 7 3/8 by 3½, scored in at 2 5/8 and 3/8 inches. And then when you fold it, it's going to fold like this into a Z. This is going to be the top of your paper if you have a design, and I'll show you what I mean in a minute. But the reason why we're doing it this way is because this piece is going to actually be set in here like this, centered between this score line down here and this score line down here. It needs to be centered because you're going to see the whole entire thing through the vellum. And notice on this one, it's not flush up to the top like my other cards that I've done with this. This is the pattern for the other types of cards. So here, 11 by 4¼ scored in at 2 and 3½, and when you fold these all like this, here, I should have folded it this way. It doesn't matter, but there's writing on the other side that I messed up on. Okay, and then this piece here is 7 by 3½, scored in at 1/2 inch and 2 inches. Okay, and there's my Z fold like that. This piece is positioned to go all the way to the top. So that's why it's a little bit different on the scores and measurements, because it gets stuck down here and then it gets pulled like that. But we want our vellum is going to show everything. So these are different measurements. Let's take our designer paper now. So that was the reasoning why I had to change it all around. So if you're looking at this going, why don't you just use the same measurements as you've used before? That is why. Okay, so now we have our designer paper. And remember with this pattern, I mentioned that this needs to be the top of your pattern. So if you do have a direction to it, like these are lilies with flowers on them, whatever, this is the top. So this is where the biggest score section has to be, and this is where the smallest section has to be, even though when you're looking at the card, when I just showed you the patterns, it looked like this was at the top. and I'll show you in just a minute why. So we're going to score in at 2 5/8 inches. And then we're going to score in, hopefully you can see that. If not, we'll zoom. 2 5/8 inches right here. And then we'll score at 3/8 inches from the other end. So here's the other end, 3/8 inches. I know, eighths, I'm sorry. It just works. Can I show those two measurements again? Are you talking about this piece here? Because the video, you will be able to watch the video again. Okay, so now here, watch. We fold this way and this way, right? And then we turn it over, and this is why that had to be the top, because you want your pocket to not be upside down. This is going to be the pocket of our card that holds like a gift card or money or whatever, and this gets attached. So this is what we see from the front of the card when it's all set up like this, okay? And again, it's going to be centered in there, and then it's going to get attached directly to the vellum here instead of flush up to the top. Oops. Oh, get in the camera there, Rachel. There we go. So that is the reasoning for why. Okay. All right. Now let's grab the other pieces. We pretty much have everything else ready to go. We have, that's a pattern. We have our Whisper White, which is 2.5 by 3.5. We have our Highland Heather, which is a beautiful purple that coordinates with this paper, which is just under 2.5 by 3.5. It is 2 3/8 by 3 3/8. We have a scrap of white, a scrap of black, and we have a scrap of designer paper and a scrap of vellum. What do we do with those scraps? We're gonna have fun. Let's grab the stamps. Oh, I forgot to grab my stamps. Hang on, I got my stamp set. I gotta get my blocks. Rachel. Had everything else set up but that, because again, we have to make a mistake every time we go live, right? All right, so I'm pulling out my stamps. This is okay because some of you, if you're a beginning stamper, you may not have ever worked with these kind of stamps before. I think I want this card on the inside to say it's your day. So we're gonna put that one on there, and I don't think I need any others. Nope. Oh, showered with love. Showered with love. Here it is. Okay, so we have 3 stamps. You just peel those off the little plastic sheet. They're totally clear stamps, right? So we're gonna mount this one, and we're gonna stamp it onto our designer paper and onto our Whisper White using the Tuxedo Black Memento ink. This is a water-based ink. Because it's water-based, it's pretty safe for your stamping. You can let it sit on your stamps for a while. You can clean it off later if you want, but we're gonna clean it off right away because we have our stamping cleaner here. I forgot something though, but I remembered it now. We need our Stampin' Pierce mat. Here's our mat. Here's our grid paper. There. I love how some of you made comments last week about, you know, it was a miracle that I remembered it. Because I remembered it right away, but this time I did not. Okay, so we're stamping it, and it doesn't even have to be straight. What I'm doing is I'm stamping where I want my image of my paper to be on my umbrella. So I'm picking a design for my umbrella. We're gonna fussy cut that. We're gonna punch the other one. We're gonna keep this ink for just a second, but this stamp, the Showered with Love, we're mounting onto our other clear block for a minute here, and we're gonna stamp directly onto our vellum scrap, okay? But we're stamping it with, getting my cleaner ready here. We're stamping it with Stays-On ink. So Stays-On ink is a solvent-based ink. It stamps on pretty much any surface, and it will stay there. So once it's inked up on your stamp, if you don't clean your stamp right away, it stains it. In fact, it will stain it a little bit anyways, but the longer you let it sit on there, the more permanent it is, and then it's harder to use your stamps, right? And the Stays-On cleaner is the stuff that's not very good for totally clear photopolymer stamps. It can kind of, you know, it's not very good for it. It's not healthy. So if you do use that cleaner with it, then you'll want to clean your stamps again right after. It doesn't affect the red rubber though. So we open it up. It also has a nice smell to it. So you want to close up the container right away. You don't have to, but it can be a little intoxicating It's a yummy smell, but it's not good for you to smell it. Okay, so let's clean off our stamp. I'm just bringing in the cleaner here. I'm going to spray on one side. The other side is ready for the drying off of my stamps. So you just scrub, and then dry over here. And you can tell, I mean, it's a well-loved stamp, plus we used it to do other stuff. So it is stained a little bit with the StazOn ink, but it's not as bad as it could have been, okay? Let's clean this one off right now too, because we need one of our blocks for our last stamp, which will go on our white paper. So I'm just going to peel these off. I'm going to stick them back in my container before they get lost, because these little puppies, they run away from you, right? How many of you have stamps that disappear, or little tiny dies that disappear? These guys, like, I'll be working with something, I'll put something down and it'll be lost for like hours, and then I'll put my stuff away and boom, my stamp's on the back side of my punch or something. So be careful that you put those away right after. Okay, so this is pretty much dry now. You want to let it sit for a couple seconds and have it dry. But yeah, so don't touch it right away because it needs a few seconds to dry. We're going to open up the Memento ink pad now, and we're going to stamp our It's Your Day, but we're going to stamp it towards the top. Let me make sure I'm saying that right. Yes, more towards the top than in the middle. Okay, so we're going to stamp it right about here. And I could have stamped it a little bit lower, but it's fine. It's fine. All right, let's clean that one off, and then we'll have less to clean off after the video is done. Hey, let's get our stamps out of the way before I throw things. Okay, now my desk is cleaner. We're ready. We're going to start punching. This piece here is going to get punched out with the Pretty Label punch. The Pretty Label punch looks like a cloud. So we're going to punch it out so it's centered and it's straight up and down. There's our cloud. We need a cloud for this. We need an umbrella handle with our black scrap. So we're going to punch that out. Okay, there's our umbrella handle. Sorry, that was kind of off camera. Let's zoom out a bit. And then we need our umbrella image punched out. I'm just going to tilt it towards me for a second, and then I'll bring it up so you can see. So I'm just centering it in using the punch upside down so you can see it. Paneling. What's paneling? Are you talking about this? My desktop? Is that something that came up? Somebody asked that in the last video. They said, is that your table or is that a board? It's my table now because my dad, who you guys know if you've been watching me, is a miracle worker in my craft room. And we're going to flip this over and we're going to put this on the back side, okay? He paneled my tabletop. He actually put floorboards on it. It's floorboards. Because I liked the look of them, and they showed off my photos and just worked with my video. So it's my table now. It's so fun. Okay, so this is now on the back side of this because we're going to be seeing both sides of it. Okay, so that's set. And then for this piece here, we need to take our snips and we need to hand cut it. We're going to fussy cut around the whole thing. This is called fussy cutting, and I don't find that it makes me fussy or irritable to cut. In fact, it's like coloring. It's very relaxing, therapeutic. If you need something to calm you down, let's say you've been having a stressful day, get out something to color with, or get out your scissors and start trimming. Seriously, this is therapy that is cheap. I love it. All right, so now that that's done, and we don't have to worry about the little top of the umbrella, I cut the little top off because when we put it on here, you're going to see the top of the umbrella from the other piece. This is called paper piecing, if you've ever done this technique before. Basically, it's just adding some fun designer paper, at least in stamping it is. It's adding designer paper to a stamped area to give it color without having to color it with markers or anything. Okay, so that's what I did. Gosh, I wish the camera would zoom in and out automatically when I want it to. All right, so there's that. And now we need to kind of lay this out for a minute. This piece here is going to be right side up on the inside of the card. So when we close the card, it's upside down. So right now, we're going to kind of position things where we want them on the front of our card, because this is going to be a front panel on the card like this. And we're going to add some rhinestones. You're wondering why we're doing this now? You might be wondering. Well, because we have to. No, because we have to put some special adhesives on the back side of our vellum. And to do that, we kind of need to know where our rhinestones are going to go. Rhinestones are small though. So what I recommend is getting those little glue dot things, those glue dot sheets from one of our kits. We have card kits that you can get in the online store or the catalog, or you can get them from the paper pumpkin kits, but these rock. So we're going to use that behind the rhinestones, but we kind of have to lay out where we want our design to be before we can add those rhinestones. So, and the bigger the rhinestone, the bigger the glue dot you can use. So if you don't have the tiny little glue dots, then you can use the bigger rhinestones only, and you can you know, just use our regular glue dots, which come in a roll. Okay. All right, so I'm just sticking these on here and there just to kind of have a fun little design. And I kind of want at least 2 on this guy. Let's see here, how many do I have there? I think I have 3. I'm looking at the finished card that you guys can't see yet. Sorry. So, and then might as well add these guys too, because we can stick them on there now. So I've got 5. Odd numbers is fun. And they look like little raindrops coming down onto the umbrella. The umbrella is going to get dimensionals. And so we're just going to put some dimensionals across the back. These are these little hexagon shaped foam adhesive pieces. And then we peel off, and we don't, actually we're not going to do it right yet for all of them, but we'll peel off the middle one and we're going to stick the handle on there. Okay? So we'll just go like that. So that handle is ready to go when we place this guy down. We'll set that off to the side. We'll set our cloud off to the side. And now we're ready to assemble the card base, okay? And we're gonna keep those glue dots off to the side too, because we need to use them right away. Okay, so what do we do here? I forgot another supply. It's called tear and tape adhesive. Hang on. This I need to add to the physical list. So if you copied like a screenshot of our supply list at the beginning, tear and tape. All right, tear and tape adhesive. We're gonna place a strip of that across the top score area of this portion of the card, like this. And it's literally tear and tape. And then we're gonna place 2 pieces, one on the side of this scored area and one on the other side, because this is going to form our pocket, which our gift card can slide into. And we're going to tape it like that. In fact, we can tape that right now. Ooh, notice there's a little bit extra adhesive coming off the edge. That's a good thing, because mistakes teach us, right? It's okay if you do have a little extra there, because you can just, it's really thin, you can just overlap it back onto itself, okay? All right, so then we open this up. I'm glad you're liking this card, you guys. Thank you for the compliments. So when you place this down, one tip that I have, and I don't have a gift card with me, so I can't show you. I'm looking on my desk to see if there's a gift card. There's not. But let's say these guys are gift cards. It helps to have some kind of item in the pocket as you're pressing the tape down, because then you know that you're going to have room for that item. Okay, that was a little too much of a bubble. Then you know you're going to have room for that gift card when you insert it later. I should have had a real gift card. Okay, there. Now we have just a little bit of a bubble in there, so it helps for our gift card to go in. This tape is going to come off next. We're going to set this in the middle of our vellum. So this is the top of the card, this is the bottom, and we're going to line up the edges of our designer paper with this area of the vellum. So we're seeing 3/8 of an inch pretty much on all of those 4 sides. And the more accurate you get it, the better. You don't have to pull out a ruler, but it helps to make sure that you're as close as possible. We're going to press this down on top, and you're going to see adhesive You're going to see it come through the vellum. Okay? That's okay, because we're going to cover it up. We're going to cover it up with this piece here. So we're going to take another piece of tear and tape adhesive, and we're going to place it right where we see that adhesive coming through. And I have not been using my bone folder for burnishing. You want to do that. It helps to really make sure adhesives are where they need to be. And I also have not been using the Take Your Pick tool, but this is great, especially for those of you who paint your nails. I used to do this. I used to paint my nails all the time, and it was hard to get under this release paper. So this is a great tool for helping that. Okay, now that we have that, we're going to take this carefully, and you can see through the vellum, right? I'm going to zoom in just a little bit more. You can see through the vellum, so you know that when you place this down, you want to be covering up that entire area. And this is the same width as this here. So you just place it right up at the top, and you're covering that area up like that. See how I'm coming down the sides here too? That way I don't have any paper showing through on the sides. And when I lift this up, there's the It's Your Day on the other side. If this bugs you, you can do what I did on my other card. It's not bugging me on this card, so I'm not going to do it because it's just an extra step. But I will show you another way of making sure that this is stuck down a little bit more too. It's not important to do it, but it's an idea. So let's take and add our closure here, and our closure here is basically a length of ribbon, about 14 inches is what I wrote down. And that's for tying a knot. So if you want to tie a bow, then you want to do a little bit more. And I am not using my ribbon scissors. I'm feeling so bad. It would totally work for a graduation card, Pat. Yes. I probably cut about 16 inches here. This looks like a lot. Okay, so we're tying our knot. And notice, I want this to be even on each side, because if it's angled, then this is going to be loose when I finally straighten it out. So you want to keep your ribbon going straight across when you tie, and then tie your knot. And then we can position it. So we can kind of arch our card like this and position this where we want it to go. And I think I want it to be about there. So I'm going to trim off with a better scissors. I'm so glad my craft room is right here. So with my ribbon cutting scissors, and this is the same tool, but I've kept it away from paper, so it's not as, it's sharp. It's still pretty sharp. All right, so there's my fun ribbon. And when I know I want this to be where I want it to be, I'm going to put a glue dot under there to really secure it so it's not sliding on this coated slippery vellum. But we just need to do a few more little decorations. Let's turn this over. Let's grab our Take Your Pick tool, which is actually a pretty necessary tool for this portion of the card, because these glue dots work best with this tool. You just take and peel them up like this, stick it behind. The glue dots are even bigger than the tiniest rhinestone, but when you are, when you're looking at the card from the front, it's almost like just a little halo. You barely see the glue dot on the flip side of the small rhinestones. There we go. Sometimes they're stubborn. These are the backings that I'm peeling off right now. Okay, so we have that done. We'll just set that where we want it on our card, so it's all centered. Doesn't that look like a cloud, you guys? That pretty label punch is so much fun. And then we'll take the backings off of these dimensionals that we didn't take them off of yet. And we'll set that down where we want it here. And then we'll adjust our ribbon. We'll grab another glue dot, and this is where I want my meatier glue dot. So I'm just going to peel up a little glue dot and slide it underneath the knot of my ribbon to secure that in place, because this part of the card does not move. It does not open, this part here. I hope you've been seeing that. I'm too zoomed in, aren't I? Okay, so then when we open our card, the pocket slides out, but not all the way. That was another reason for the adjustments, because I had different measurements in there, and my pocket was coming out. We don't want it to come all the way out. We want it just to open like that. So there is one card. let's clear the table so you can see all of them. And here are, this is the same one, but just a couple other versions. In fact, you know what I'll do? I'll take and I'll open this one up. There we go. Hey, that one has a gift card too, so that's good. We'll open up this one and we'll put something down on it so you can see all of the cards at a glance. Yay! So, you know what I should say to you guys? If there's any questions, ask them now, right? Because I'm looking up at my screen. I am so bad at responding during the lives. Okay, so this card and the photos of the blue version and the purple version will be on my blog on Saturday, February 29th. So you just visit me at stampyourartout.com that day, or you can also, I'll have the link in the recording of this video and in the recording of the YouTube version too. So you can just go to the description of the video and find the link that way. So what else do I want to say? If you're buying a lot during this time, it's celebration still. End of March is when it ends. If you're purchasing at least $50 worth of product, then make sure that you are grabbing a celebration item, a perk. There's several things. You can pick stamp sets, packs of paper. There's all kinds of things. It's crazy, right? There's even bigger items that you can get free at the $100 level, like dies, these beautiful dies that coordinate with this. There's a stamp set that coordinates with this, and the dies. So you can have like a whole ensemble of water lilies. It's so pretty. So make sure that you're paying attention to that. If you are ordering a lot, you might want to get it in a starter kit, because the starter kit is an awesome deal right now too. And you can find more information on that in links that I share at my website, or on the description of this video. Okay, and there's how you can shop. Just go to my website and click any shop button. So what else do I want to tell you? My next broadcast will be March 4th. Those of you that came late, just mention one more time that I apologize if I'm not physically responding to each of your comments in these posts. Oh, we need to draw for prizes. We're not done yet. But yes, I apologize, but comment away, because this gets you entered, right, you guys? So add your comment while I'm talking about this, but I've been having some carpal tunnel syndrome symptoms, and I'm having a hard time with doing repetitive stuff on the computer right now. So I'm reading your comments. I may not be responding to them all physically, but I am giggling and smiling and just enjoying reading them. So please share away. I feel so blessed to have you all, and I'm feeling bad that I can't actually respond to you all. Okay, let's do prizes. So last week, because we're going to draw for those first, right? Last week we had some celebration picks that you could get for free as a prize. The winner last week was in Canada. I feel so bad. So if you're international, I can send you a card, but I can't send you the actual prize. So just know that you still win something, right? But these items are left because I actually gave the twine and sequins to somebody else, but instead I brought in my remainders of my kerchief card kit, which is also something that is no longer available. So there's, I don't know, there's not a ton in there, but it's nice to have a little bit extra from that kit. And there's probably enough to make at least one other set of cards in there. So those are the choices. And then for the prizes for this video, so we'll draw two winners for the prizes I just shared. For this video, we have clear prizes because we worked with vellum. So our clear prizes come from Stamp & Storage. Thank you, Stamp & Storage. We have a couple packs of stamp cards, which are great for storing your totally clear stamps, especially if you're buying stamps from like other companies. They sell them just on like a sheet or something that's kind of flimsy. These are great because they're sturdy. And then this is a 6x6 paper sleeve. Great organizational things for your craft room. My room behind me is filled with Stamp & Storage storage items, containers, organizational things, all those little white pieces that hold my ribbons and punches and inks. I love Stamp & Storage. I will put a link to seeing their products in the description of this video too. Okay, let's draw. Let's go to the computer. I need to clear this out though. Okay, we are almost ready. There, oh, that's not what we want up there. There. Okay, we're on my page. This is the Stamp Your Art Out with Rachel Facebook page, which is where you found me. We're going to click on videos, and we're going to choose last week's video, which was the flowering foils. So I'm going to click on it here because I'm actually having an issue with how I select them for some reason. And we'll just stop that for a minute. Stop. Okay, we've copied the link, and we're going to bring that into our comment picker. Let's see if this works, because they were also having some changes, the comment picker site. So I'm crossing my fingers, you guys. Oh, yes. Okay, so it's telling me to do it a different way. So we're looking for the flowering foils post. This is weird, you guys. I'm logging in. It's different. Continue as me. Okay, now it might let me, but it's going to come up with these pictures down here in the screen real soon, I think. Come on. Come on, come on. Let's do a refresh and see if that worked. Why do we always have issues when it comes to picking winners? This is where I need a techie person to be back here with me. Not only to tell me what's going on, but, okay, let's see. Go to the new Facebook. I thought I was there. All right, how's this? Okay, this is where it is. So it's going to come up with these little pictures above my head, and we have to pick on one of the pictures. And in the meantime, you get to see their advertising because it's a free site. Come on, come on. Please work. Please log on. Again, it says log on. Okay. We'll get this down though. This is a change that just happened this week, and I'm so sorry, you guys. I was practicing it before. Okay, here we are. So we need to find the one here, this is the video one. So now we click on that, and we have 240 comments from last week's video. It says it right here. So we're going to click the start button, and we're going to choose a winner, and we're going to cheer for them. And the winner is Pam Hoover. You get to pick from one of those prizes. We're going to go to YouTube now, and I think the comment picker for our YouTube video is the same. I'm going to click the link for the video, and we're going to go to here, put the link in, get YouTube comments. We have 87 comments, and click start. And our winner from the YouTube from last week is Margie Hill. Congratulations to both of you. And now I'm going to go ahead and refresh this page because I know a lot of you are commenting. And Libby says, I'm so glad I married an IT guy. Yes, you know, I could do this on a day where my husband was home. He works from home on Mondays, but he's not a Mac person. Okay, so we're going to click on videos again. And you still have one more chance to get a comment in. All right, here we go. Let's grab the link for that video, which is going on live. See the little live button? We're going to stop it. Oh, we can't stop it really. Oh, I guess we can. We can stop a live. Pretty cool. Okay, and then we're going to come over here. We're going to click our login with Facebook button again and see if we can get this to work. You know what, though? I think I had to go here first. Hang on. We're going to get fast. We're going to get fast at this. Click login with Facebook and continue as me. This is what takes up the most time, you guys. I need an IT person. And I think this is it right here. Yes, it is. How many people do we have commenting? We have 156 of you commenting today. Thank you so much. That means a lot of people are viewing with me, and I love you. I love you so much. Thank you. All right, the winner is Nicole Stull. Congratulations to all three of our winners today. Yay. The first two winners get to pick from the celebration offerings, and is everybody still there? I hope so. Nicole is the one who gets to pick one of those Stampin' Storage items. So I thought I turned my notifications off on my phone. Maybe not. Anyways, congratulations to all of you guys. And next week will be March 4th. We're already into March. 11 a.m. Central Time here on my Stamp Your Art Out with Rachel page. Hopefully you'll come back and visit me because I am going to double a kit. I'm going to double one of the kits in the spring catalog, and I can't wait to share with you. We'll see you guys all later. Congrats, and thanks for joining me. Now I'd like you all to go and stamp your art out. Bye-bye.